From WNEP, the news station. This is Newswatch 16 at 6.
A path of destruction in two counties left behind by tornadoes. The first in Luzerne County, where an EF2 twister tore up one of the busiest shopping plazas in Northeast PA. And in Bradford County, where homes, businesses, even a church were damaged. The two tornadoes are our top stories tonight on Newswatch 16 at 6. Good evening. I'm Charlotte McBride. Scott is off. We begin with all the damage left by a tornado that ripped through part of Luzerne County last night. Today, the National Weather Service confirmed it was an EF2 twister with wind speeds of up to 130 miles per hour. Skycam 16 video gives us a bird's eye view of all of the destruction at the Arena Hub shopping plaza in Wilkes Barre Township. Roofs were ripped off buildings, vehicles tossed, and windows shattered when the storm barreled through just after 10 last night. Emergency crews tell us several people were injured, but none critically. Here's what we know as of now. Many of the businesses around Mundy Street near Wilkes Barre are closed today, including stores that were not damaged. The Wyoming Valley Mall is also closed. About 24 businesses were damaged, including a car dealership and a storage unit facility. There were 6 people who suffered minor injuries, but as emergency officials pointed out today, miraculously no fatalities. The National Weather Service actually took a look inside the Arena Hub Plaza, where the worst damage was done in Luzerne County. Newswatch 16's Carolyn Blackburn is live there with the latest. Carolyn.
Charlotte, officials with the National Weather Service say a tornado happening in a metro area like Wilkes Barre Township is incredibly rare. But despite so much destruction, only 6 people had minor injuries. Emergency lights flashing in the night were about the only thing showing us what was left of the Dick's Sporting Goods store at the Arena Hub Plaza. Daytime told a clearer story. Chairs impaled into the America's Best sign, a U-Haul truck turned upside down, 20-foot shards of metal roofing all over the parking lot. The National Weather Service says all of this damage was brought on by an EF2 tornado with winds of up to 130 miles an hour.
I've been working in the Weather Service 27 years, mostly in New York and Pennsylvania, and I've never seen damage like this before, so it's pretty strong.
Keep the roadway clear.
The tornado even ripped gas lines off some businesses. The U-Haul location on Mundy Street had a propane leak that took several hours to clear. Despite so much damage, emergency officials say just 6 people were hurt in the storm. Luzerne County officials gave Governor Tom Wolf a first-hand look at the damage once it was safe.
I'm just thankful that with all this devastation, it's terrible. We had so few people hurt.
The path of this storm was so narrow that it only knocked over a few of these flower pots. But about 20 yards away, it ripped a box truck in half.
We're talking about 23 businesses right now that have some severe structural damage to them that would have to be closed. It's a major hit to Wilkes Barre Township here.
But Luzerne County Manager Dave Pedri says these businesses will rebuild. Kenneth Charlotte runs a nearby nightclub and is already trying to figure out what to do next after seeing the tornado last night.
To think it could happen 100 feet, the funnel of the clock, and run right through 100 feet from where you're standing, it's pretty crazy.
And this area in Wilkes Barre Township is one of the busiest places for shopping in the Wyoming Valley.
And this is bad. This is really bad. You see this on TV, but I just feel bad for the companies and stuff.
Now, officials here in Luzerne County say they are concerned about the threat of looting. So officers from various agencies are going to be here 24/7, keeping an eye on things. Carolyn Blackburn, Newswatch 16, live in Luzerne County.
All right, Carolyn, thank you. Anyone who has driven through the area where the tornado hit knows that section of Wilkes Barre Township is filled with businesses. The tornado damaged about 24 of them. Newswatch 16's Jessica Albert joins us live now to tell us how business owners are trying to cope after the tornado. Jessica?
Charlotte, you can't see any of the damage from where we're standing. We're being held too far back, but you can see some of the debris laying here in the street. Now, a lot of the businesses here on Mundy Street are either partially damaged or completely destroyed. We spoke with one business owner today who says that her furniture store was destroyed by the tornado. These photos show what is left of Ronnie Kurlanchik's furniture store. It's on Mundy Street where an EF2 tornado touched down. She can't put into words what it's like to see her business like this.
It's surreal. I can't see one piece of furniture in this store.
She's not the only business that took a hit. The tornado damaged several cars at this dealership. This U-Haul storage facility also took severe damage. Newswatch 16 spoke with people who are worried about their belongings inside.
No one is letting me see. I have everything there. You know, it's like memories, you know, my dad's stuff there, my brother's stuff there. My dad passed away when I was very young.
Even with all of this damage, emergency managers say there were no fatalities and only 6 people suffered minor injuries. Kurlanchik says she closed the store just before the tornado hit.
I am just so happy that there was nobody in this store because there is furniture just flung everywhere.
Her family has owned the furniture store for more than 100 years. They've spent the last 5 at this location on Mundy Street. She is optimistic about having to rebuild.
You get to change some things, so it could be a rebirth. New colors, new styles. It is what it is. I'm sure it'll be a better store.
Emergency managers have allowed some of the business owners to go back to their businesses to check them out. They're not allowed to go inside them because it might be dangerous, but they are allowed to assess the damage from outside. Jessica Albert, Newswatch 16, reporting live in Luzerne County.
All right, Jessica, thank you. First responders have been at the Arena Hub Plaza since last night. A restaurant nearby that didn't sustain any serious damage is pitching in to make sure those responders are well fed. Newswatch 16's Chelsea Strube has more.
After a tornado blew through Wilkes Barre Township, it has been all hands on deck for first responders to help assess and clean up the damage. Gaston Romero owns El Rey Azteca in Wilkes Barre Township, and he says he was lucky his restaurant was not affected.
It could have been us, you know, and I just know that we needed to help. We needed to do something for the guys because I knew they were going to be there all night.
Romero and his staff prepared sandwiches and delivered them with drinks to the Red Cross at its base of operations near the Arena Hub Plaza.
The outpouring has been amazing. Our community, going back to 1972, Valley with a Heart, we're here.
The Red Cross tells Newswatch 16 it has received an overwhelming amount of food donations for first responders. It has even had to turn some away.
But we're scheduling it for tomorrow. We know we're going to be here at least 1 or 2 more days.
David Prohaska is a first responder. He says he's touched by the community's support.
It's a really good feeling. Businesses have just been showing up with food and ice and soda and drinks and water. We even had residents come up. A young mother and her young child come up and donated 6 boxes of pizza out of the clear blue.
Prohaska says the support is a representation of folks in northeastern Pennsylvania.
It just shows the pride they have in the community too. Everybody's stepping up. It's a smaller region that got hit, but yet people are coming from all over too to help out.
If you'd like to make a food donation, you can coordinate it through the Red Cross. You can find a link for contact information on WNEP.com. Chelsea Strube, Newswatch 16, Luzerne County.
The National Weather Service also confirms a tornado ripped through parts of Bradford County. About a dozen homes, a business, and a church were either heavily damaged or destroyed near Troy. Newswatch 16's Nikki Kreis joins us live in Franklin Township tonight with the latest. Nikki?
Charlotte, the National Weather Service confirms it was an EF2 tornado with wind speeds up to 130 miles per hour. No one was hurt, but the damage was extreme in some places, like you can see from the home behind me. It was a quiet night inside Richard Gilliland's house near Troy, so he didn't think anything of it when he took his dogs outside around 8:15.
Ferocious wind came, and I actually had to lean over like this to get back into the house.
My son, I hollered tornado watch, and my son went to open the door to see what he could see, and it was here.
It was a tornado that came through Granville, Leroy, and Franklin townships. According to Bradford County's public safety director, nearly a dozen homes were heavily damaged or destroyed. Also gone is a former church and a lawnmower repair shop. One of the lawnmowers blew into this car about 100 yards away.
We heard some really loud booms. We weren't sure what we were going to see when we came back up.
The loud booms could have been the lawnmower or this piece of lumber which blew into this house.
Lost the camper, knocked my chimneys, just pulled my chimneys right off the house like they're nothing.
Never in my life seen anything this bad.
Once Richard Gilliland and his wife knew they were safe, they went to check on their neighbors. They thought the people who lived here were home. Luckily, their neighbors were safe somewhere else.
We'll be cleaning up for days and days. That's okay. That's better than anybody getting hurt.
Again, this was an EF2 tornado with wind speeds up to 130 miles per hour. The National Weather Service says 16 buildings were damaged, affecting about 40 people. Nikki Kreis, Newswatch 16 live tonight in Bradford County.
Destruction just incredible. All right, thanks so much, Nikki. Chief Meteorologist Kurt Aaron joins us now with details on what led to those tornadoes last night. Hey, Kurt.
Yeah, we had the sunshine obviously coming out late in the afternoon, evening. That helped create some heat, some lift in the lower atmosphere. That's what we saw with those storms up in Bradford County. For you folks in Bradford County, that EF2 confirmed by the National Weather Service. We don't have any more details on that just yet. They're still waiting for data from the survey team. I want to talk, and we'll get that along to you as soon as we have it, but I want to talk about the EF2 in Wilkes Barre Township for just a moment, because that has changed now. Feast your eyes on this. We have new data on that by the National Weather Service. Civil Air Patrol executed a flyover of this area late this afternoon, and now what they're saying for this storm that happened in Wilkes Barre Township is the width of the base, that when it touched down, was only 150 yards, not 200 yards. But significant in the details here is how long it lasts. Initially, they thought about 3/4 of a mile. Now the latest data we just got in a few minutes ago saying that tornado may have been on the ground for 2.9 miles, almost 3 miles, that tornado moving through. And if you want to know what it looked like on radar, right there it is. That's at 10 o'clock last night as that tornado touched down near Munley Street. And people describe seeing this: green sky. Again, frequent lightning, large hail, and of course the sound of a freight train. But that's significant, Charlotte, as we look back on this, because as that storm arrived between 9:30, 10 o'clock, they started issuing severe thunderstorm warnings. And now the data that we're beginning to see is, in fact, it may have been on the ground for almost 3 miles. That is a long time for a tornado in northeastern Pennsylvania.
It really is. All right, thanks so much, Kurt.
Yep.